Hey folks, John here, Old Hickory Forge. Welcome back. So I'm back down here in the workshop, and what I want to do today is just a little bit of a tutorial on some basic twists you can incorporate into your metalwork to add a little bit more character, a little bit more style to it. So when it comes to twisting, a tool that's really beneficial to have is a twisting wrench. This is an example. This is the one I use for general purpose twisting as well as twisting really big stock. All it is two old railroad wrenches. I cut the head off one and welded the handle on here. You adjust it like that. Here's a smaller version. This is made from, I think it's an old antique pipe wrench, but same thing, you adjust it here, things like that. I use this for railroad spikes because the jaws are much narrower and I can get right up under the head with it. Now, you don't necessarily need a twisting wrench. You can get by with a pipe wrench or a crescent wrench or something like that. But what's going to happen when you start to pull on it from one side to try to turn it, it's going to want to bend and turn and kink rather than twist. It'll still twist, but you'll end up with a much messier twist that you're going to have to do much more cleanup work to. If you have something you can turn on both sides of it once, it's going to stay much straighter when you're turning. But anyway, what I'm going to show you, we got a square twist, we got a pineapple twist, we got a rope twist, we got a cube twist, and we got an alligator twist. So, just going to go over how to do each one really quick, and let's get started. So, first twist we're going to go over is the rope twist. It's basically just a square twist that thinks it's better than it is. So what you're going to do is go ahead, mark a groove on each side of the metal, and you want to go in about 1/8 of an inch deep so you have a good bold groove. And like I said, you'll do this on all four sides. So just keep working around and making sure your grooves line up pretty good. Once you got all your grooves cut for your rope twist, just go ahead and stick one end into the vise at the end of the groove. Grab the other end with your twisting wrench. And just give that thing 3 or 4 good full turns. So that's a rope twist. You can see how it's kind of just a step up from the plain old square twist. What cutting the groove is in there does is it creates those hard valleys in there that give it the appearance of kind of like a piece of rope. Hence the name rope twist, instead of just having kind of a flat, smooth area in between the twists. But anyway, that's the rope twist, so we'll move on. So, next what we're going to do is a pineapple twist. It starts pretty much the same as all the others. Cutting grooves onto each side of the metal. These don't have to be as deep though. You only need to go just below surface deep, just so they're kind of there. They don't have to be too far into the metal. Once you got your grooves cut, same thing, one into the vise, grab the other one with your wrench. Now you're just going one full turn, right about there. Then once you got that first turn done, you're going to go back to the anvil and gently forge this thing back to square, just enough so you can get it to sit flat. Once you got this thing forged roughly back to square, what you're going to do is cut 4 more grooves, and you want them to line up with the ends of your original grooves. And again, they don't have to be very deep, they just have to be there. Once you got those grooves cut in, it's back to the vise. Grab it with your wrench, and you just want to go 1/2 a turn in the opposite direction of your first turn. So, that's all you need to do. So, there's your pineapple twist. You see why it's important for the top and bottoms of the grooves to line up, so that when the twist is done, they made up like that real good. Looks kind of like the skin of a pineapple. And you can complicate this twist by doubling the number of turns. Like say, you'd go 2 full turns the first time you turn it before you cut the grooves, and then a full turn back, and it would give you more of these little diamonds if you wanted to make a tighter pineapple twist, but that's the gist of it. So, now I'm posted up over here on the bandsaw, about to cut in the notches for my cube twist, also known as a Rubik's twist and the alligator twist. So what I've got with same piece of 1/2 inch square, same 4 deeper grooves that we did when we did the rope twists, but you see I've got each corner marked, or opposite corners marked. This is what's going to become our cube twist. This is what's going to become our alligator twist. So what you're just going to want to do is cut from the corner into where the grooves are at each one of these marks, and we'll go from there. I'm using the bandsaw for this. Like I said, you could do it with an angle grinder or a hacksaw if you got the patience, but that's what's happening now. The trick to doing this with a bandsaw is just going slow. If you try to push too hard, the blade will just want to grab it and jerk it out of your hand. So Take your time. So, here we go for our cube twist, same deal. Put one into the vise, grab the other end with your wrench, and you're just gonna go one full turn. So, that's a cube twist or a Rubik's twist, whichever you want to call it. So you have the squares, or the grooves you cut kind of separate and make those little squares that come up. That's kind of cool. Going in for the alligator twist now. Same thing, just one full turn. And you want to go pretty slow because the metal's cut on all four sides. If you let it get too cold or try to turn too fast, you can shear it apart pretty easily. See what we got? And you can stop there if you like the way that looks, but we're going to take one more step. So, to finish the alligator twist, you're just going to start forging from the corners and gently forge it all back into itself. So, you see how forging the squares back into themselves creates kind of that staggered scale effect? I screwed up cuts in a few places, so it's not the prettiest alligator twist, but you get the gist of it. So that's just 5 basic square stock twists you can use to jazz up your metalwork. We got a plain old square twist. I didn't bother showing you that one because it's painfully simple. Just one full turn, you get that. Rope twist, pineapple twist, Rubik's twist or cubes twist, whichever you want to call it, and the alligator twist. So anyway, that's just kind of a basic tutorial on different twists and how to do them. You can use them to spice up your work a little bit, like if you're making bottle openers or spike knives, or even if you're doing decorative work like building furniture, things like that. These are something that'll come in handy. But if you like what you saw, like, share, subscribe, all that jazz. Always give me more cool stuff coming. Thanks again.